Hello. I hope everybody's doing alright. Here, let me turn down this music a little bit. There we go. Oh, it's kind of been a long week for me. I hope it hasn't been nearly as busy as it has been for everybody else. But I do hope that you've been productive and that you've been happy with what you've done this week. I am learning to be so. But I am also slowly learning how to pick myself up after that, too. I am just going to go ahead and jump in. But first, just to let you know, this stream is going to run about an hour. I tend to try to keep about an hour or try to finish an episode, which usually consists of one round of investigation or one round of trial. And so you'll see very clearly, if you have not played this game before, there's very clear chapter markers. You can see one of them right here. So whenever we get back to this screen is when this is going to end, because that's the only time I can save. So here, let me check something in the background really fast, and then we can get going. This takes a minute. There we go. Hopefully the volume is okay. I'm still kind of learning how everything should be. There we are. And now for game volume I set. Mic capture should be good. Alright. Let's see how this goes. Turnabout Samurai Day 2 Trial. Yes, from chapter start. October 18th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Turn this up slightly more. The court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer at Studio 1 of Global Studios. Turn this down. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I would like to move on to your testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. First, I would like to call a familiar face. Detective Gumshoe to the stand, please. How did I do this? Detective, if you would briefly describe the case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? That's not his inflection. I can't do that whole New York accent. I'm sorry. This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 o'clock p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there is a gate. Hey, Racy. Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. Yay, I'm so happy you're here. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer. The defendant, Will Powers. And the young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 o'clock p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 o'clock p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? I'm gonna listen to it again. Because reading it and listening to it are two different things. So I'm gonna listen to it and I'm not gonna read it. I'm just gonna pay attention to it for myself. Yeah, Wendy Oldbag is great. I can't read it when she goes on her tangents, though. He got ganged like a noob in Northshire. Okay, I'm sorry, could you describe that one more time? I should have known it would be you, pal. Fine. Once more for the mentally challenged lawyer. Yeah, live it up all you can, gumshoe. Okay. Alright. It's the employee area. Main gate to the studio. Okay. There's that gate. And there's Studio 1. That's the murder scene. 3 people. I almost forgot about the lady. Okay, the victim went over there. Whoa! Wow! I didn't realize that had a fast forward thing, and I didn't realize I was using it. I was like, why the heck is this going so quickly? I missed that thanks to the fast forward button. I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay, I got that. I got all the people. Phoenix. Ah! It started going forward again on its own. That's so mean. What's going on? I don't know. I'm gonna have to be really careful with that. Okay, Studio 1. Just to take my finger entirely off the mouse. Hold on. It's like the butterfly effect. Okay, so they had practice, and then Jack Hammer went to Studio 1. At 1 o'clock, the shift starts. Now jump ahead to 5. They went over there. Okay, so there really weren't that many details. Yeah, this whole case, yeah, seemed pretty open and shut from last time. There were a lot of movies that came out at that time that I never had the mindset to watch. I never watched it. I heard a lot about it. Needless to say, I miss a lot of movies, and they miss a lot of music. But what happens in it? Okay, so the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval. Okay, samurai spear added to the court record. Your Honor. I need to turn up this game volume some more. The case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Why is everything hinged across what she sees? Oh well. Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. I think it's just Ashton Kutcher falling his way through the timeline. Will the witness declare her name? My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. It seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. So just call me Grandma. When I was young, I was not an old bag. That's a house for children to make fun of me. But believe it, but there was this little boy captain that he called me an old bag because I just cried. I missed like half of that. Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. This is your witness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yesy, I was. As everybody's voices are getting random, I'm so sorry. And to get to the scene of the murder, anyone would have to pass by you? You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Alright, witness's account. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 o'clock p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run through there since the morning. Forgive me. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 o'clock when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 o'clock. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio. Objection overruled. I'd like to watch my May December romances. You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Alright, so I don't think really there's anything to present, but I'm gonna go through here anyway. I'm not gonna talk about her errands. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna press about the certain man. 2 o'clock. You're sure? Sure as spit. Well, who was the man? Really? You should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something. You're the same age. Like, what the heck? Now, don't get your skivvies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was. Nick, doesn't she seem like she's enjoying this a little too much? Windbags love gossiping about other people's misfortunes. You got that right. Ugh. Can't she get her kick somewhere else? Very true. Now, there was something that we saw the other day. I'm gonna... Nothing really to check there. I'm gonna present the photo because that's the only thing I have. Let me get this straight, old bag. Mrs. Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo-Old Tokyo. Mrs. Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course! Didn't your mama teach you any sense, sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? Yeah. Well, I wonder... True, Mr. Powers does play the role of Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. No one in this court is accusing you of that, witness. He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? Nosy old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised. The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time. How was I to know that everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Wow. Old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof, then. Yeah, right, Reese? I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? So he had sprained his ankle. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Alright. Are you absolutely sure? Let's take a look at that picture again. So he was walking strangely because he was injured. It does look like he was dragging his foot. See? And you didn't trust me, whippersnapper. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? Well, I don't know. That doesn't... It doesn't look right. Well, Nick, find any glaring contradictions? Well, she seems pretty sure that Powers is in that photo. I guess I'll just have to press her and see if I can shake her conviction. Right? The pants really are way too long. Trip and fall. Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course. You helped make it better? I kissed it where it hurt. Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. Huh. You may continue your testimony. What about this prop? He broke a prop. Sure did. His own samurai spear. His samurai spear? The murder weapon? Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it. This strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record. Okay, the samurai spear is now updated. Huh. I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is... where is this Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure you are sure, Your Honor? I'm not sure. Gonna have checked. Hold it right there. Oh no, this isn't gonna work. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask twice. Continued, okay. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. So, if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. I already know what to counter this with, but I don't know what to use. So, give me a second. What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1 o'clock? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention... let's press that. Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. Edgy boy? Ugh. Oh, Windbag sure has balls. Well, you know what I mean. Old Windbags have a way of skipping over important details, after all. Or, for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? Is it the card key? Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Let me go back and read it one more time. No one else went there. Let's try the card key here. No, it didn't work! Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does. I don't see anything contradictory. Huh? Really? Objection overruled. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright. Whoops. That didn't go so well. No. I'm gonna have to press every single thing. Are you absolutely sure? Oh, quite, son. Nobody's suspicious looking passed by at all. Nobody's suspicious looking. Right. No one else went there? What about... Oh, wait, before you got to the guard station. I already asked about that. But the thing is, we're assuming that anybody who did this would have had to come into the studio. Oh, wait. Okay, so I forgot about the camera. Never mind. That's what she's looking at. She's not thinking about the entrance. But she keeps saying that this is Powers. We're not really even talking about Studio 1 yet, so I don't think the car key is gonna be much help. No, we are. Okay. Is there a way to go to the studio without going by the camera? That's the thing. We saw an open grate, but nobody's been paying attention to that. And here, let me see something else. Is the grate marked on here? I don't think it is. No, it's not. I might end up losing today just out of experimentation. Hold on. I wish I had written down what I had already tried. If all we're doing is going off this photo, then that's the only thing that... Yeah, it's like, Alright. So it was the photo, but... Damn. Okay. Hold on! Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sirree, Sonny. So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture. And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Ooh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Even I know that it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit where it says, photo number 2. Photo number 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Order! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I wanted to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Let me turn the volume down a little bit. There we go. Yet there was only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access to the blurred. Only someone with access. The security lady herself. You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes. That's what it would seem to me. Can the witness explain this to the court? I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy? Help! Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper? Something the matter, Miss Oldbag. Ah, that's right. I just remembered something. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai. Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. I see. Your testimony, please. Alright, the other person. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. I came to think of it, I now remember throwing out one photo that day. Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it. Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination. Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. Let it be entered into the court record that the court is over this lady's bullshit. Alright, the other person. Every day, after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking. Let's press. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces. For the most part. For the most part? This is a murder trial, Mrs. Oldback. Well, I didn't touch that suspicious-looking Will Powers photo, did I? I think she's missing the point. Okay, so what was the photo? Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? A fanboy. A fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. There was one there that day. But wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. That's what's up with that drain. Okay. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and, well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain? I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids. Children. Whippersnappers. Kids? So, on the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? Order. Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studio that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade. Oh yes, well, we see this type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him. A boy in the 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Right. As I said, I didn't pay him much mind. Turn the game volume down a little bit. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, they're already trying to unsuspect him. I'd like to take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. October 18th, 11:08 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3. Mr. WB? Yes? Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio. How did I have this guy's voice? I don't remember. I didn't go into the studio. I was sleeping. Honest. So, who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo? Tips on the swings. If only that's what it meant. How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You should take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, Where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now, and I'm mixing up voices now, I'm so sorry. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick! Well, what are we going to do? First, we play for some time. Well, let's start targeting someone else that could have conceivably done this. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can't... Oh gosh. It'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. Oh, what does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence. But there was still no one else that could have committed the crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed the crime. Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder? The assistant girl, the grade school boy, or the security lady? I think it's the assistant girl. I don't think the grade school boy could have done it. I'm gonna say the assistant girl. It was the assistant! The Steel Samurai costume was in his dressing room. She stole it, and in doing so, she became the Steel Samurai. So you're saying the Steel Samurai in the picture is really the assistant? That's correct, Your Honor. If you're serious, you've got guts, Mr. Wright. Remember the photo. Wasn't the Steel Samurai a little lame? He was dragging his foot. Oh. Uh-oh. Bad feeling time. Remember the testimony considering Powers' injury. Powers and poor Hammer were at the run-through. Oh, and me. What about the assistant? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. The assistant knew nothing of Mr. Powers' injury. She could look the Steel Samurai look with that costume. But she couldn't walk the Steel Samurai walk. She wouldn't have limped. Ugh. That kind of takes the legs out from under that case. Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I have to penalize you as I warned. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Maybe move on, Mr. Wright. This fight isn't over yet. You can't hear what I hope you didn't hear what I just heard. If you would, Your Honor, one more chance, please. Very well, go ahead. So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder? The grade school boy? It was the grade school boy! Why isn't anyone saying anything? Bah. Are you seriously suggesting the boy did it, Mr. Wright? Grade school boy kills veteran action star with spear. For one thing, it was the steel samurai holding the murder weapon. Would you care to explain just how the boy was involved? Maybe that was a dumb move on my part. Maybe? Maybe? How about absolutely, Nick? Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I have to penalize you as I would. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Fine, the security lady, that's all I got. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The steel samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper. Order! Order! Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Ms. Oldbag to you. Ms. Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the steel samurai costume, and then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Well, why would she go through the trouble of wearing the steel samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in this costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right there. Sherlock Holmes II, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it. Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something. Was my move. Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. Press further. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Mrs. Oldbag's actions that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy! The one whose photo I erased. He's only a grade schooler, though. As you said. 2nd or 3rd grade, was it? That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Oh, or is it be nice to the kids and mean to your elders? Whippersnapper. I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Now let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder. I don't know what this proof could be. Not one bit. Is it the card key? The scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key? I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The windbag. Speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy. What was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look forward further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. The court is adjourned. Oh, he made it. Well, wait a second! I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me? I'm talking. Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? By whom? Huh. You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. I thought we were done. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studio on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studio that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the Oldbag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Alright. Who else was there? Who were these people? Well, the director and the producer, for starters. The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course. Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it. So, where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, and the Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Hey, Jared! Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but... Huh. And continue. Why would they say that? Miss Oldbag, this is... Excuse me. Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder. I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side. So you got your bonus and you still talked? Ugh, I think I've asked all the questions I have to ask. I guess there's no harm in getting as much info as I can. Okay. Nick, I guess pressing her was the right thing to do. For an old windbag, she sure likes keeping secrets. Let's get as much information as we can. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and press. So, you were told not to talk. That's right, by the studio and TV bigwigs, you see. Why didn't I hear about this? Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. Wow. So we already know who it was. We already talked about that. So they were actually in the studio. Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came. I'll kill this woman, I swear it. And I feel sorry for Edgeworth. Almost. She really left him hanging on this one. Alright, let's press on this one too. Them. Who were these people? Oh, wait. Yeah, we went over that. I'm just clicking through. Alright. Nope, I'm good. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at the Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Ms. Soldback, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the sorry, y'all. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. The court is adjourned. Alright. Another flat hour. Okay. October 18th, 1:04 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Aw, really? It's nothing. Or should I? We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigation. I can't talk. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick, have we figured out just who is in the Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time out there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag. I kind of feel sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks. Thanks, guys. To be continued. My reading was terrible today. Yes, we're saving. Nope, we're pausing here. Alright, I'm not clicking the button. Oh, wow. Another day. Where's my background music? There it is. Alright, everybody, I want to thank you again for coming by for this. This has been a great game. What do y'all think about what's going on? Like, seriously. Like, this is really getting extremely twisted at this point, and I'm hoping I remember all the details. Because the details right now are just piling on. And like I said, when I started this game, I knew that the cases were going to get more and more complex. And sure enough, this is just adding stuff. And they're really good at taking each level and increasing the difficulty a little bit more every time. Adding a little bit of spin. The end of this game is going to be insane, okay? Yeah. Rayseed says, I already knew the vague series of events, just not the intricacies of the trials themselves. Yeah. And then, one thing that I'm finding really surprising is how good the writers are at using the characterizations of each character to the benefit of the player, so that you can actually read pretty well into the characters by the details of their personality. It's something that I'd seen in previous games over the course of my life, but this one really carries a lot of nuance with how it does it. So I am really impressed with the characterizations in this game. And so it goes to show why they would have such crazy characters, but at the same time, even if the characters weren't off their rocker, it makes for a fantastic gameplay and a really nice way for those of us who like to pick things apart to allow ourselves to pick things apart and get a lot of payback for it. So, yeah. We are going to continue Phoenix Friday's Attorney next week on Tuesday at 5 p.m. unless there's something in my calendar. I don't think there is. If anything happens in my life where I'm busy on a certain day, I tend to put off streaming. So I know I have stuff coming up. So let me check the days. 9, 10, 11. Nope. Alright, we will be here next week on the 11th at 5 p.m. Central. So, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go. Tomorrow will be Final Fantasy as opposed to yesterday because I was too sleepy. So with that, I'm gonna let you go. I hope you have a good evening and take care. Catch you soon.